You won't believe what happened to these track and field legends. Track and field is one of the most unforgiving sports. Unlike team sports, where you can lean on others during tough times, track and field athletes face their battles alone, pushing their limits for glory. The highs are amazing, but the lows can be heartbreaking. From Betty Robinson, who survived a deadly plane crash to become an Olympic champion, to Jamie Nieto, who faced a paralyzing injury yet defied the odds to walk again, these stories will leave you speechless. In this video, we'll dive into the most unbelievable comebacks and struggles in the history of track and field. Back in 1936, Betty Robinson was rewriting history after surviving one of the most unexpected setbacks an athlete could face. Just 4 months after competing in her first official race, Robinson became the Olympic 100-meter champion in 1928 at the age of 16, even equaling the world record. But just 3 years later, her life took a devastating turn when she was involved in a plane crash. The man who found her thought she was dead and placed her in his car trunk, taking her to a mortician. Robinson was unconscious for 7 weeks and couldn't walk normally for 2 years. Though the crash left her unable to bend her leg fully, preventing her from taking the typical crouched sprinting position, she refused to give up on her athletic dreams. Incredibly, Robinson made a comeback just in time for the 1936 Olympics. While she couldn't compete individually due to her injury, she joined the USA's 4x 100-meter relay team. Running the third leg, she helped her team win the gold medal, proving that even the toughest setbacks couldn't stop her. Robinson's story is a powerful reminder of what true champions are made of. Then there's another athlete from the 80s who faced an even bigger challenge. Doctors considered amputating her feet. In the late 80s, Gail Devers was on fire, winning titles and making Olympic strides. But in 1990, she was diagnosed with Graves' disease, a condition that left her struggling to walk. Her feet swelled and blistered, and doctors even considered amputating them. But Devers didn't give up. After stopping treatment, she got back to training, and by 1991, she won silver in the 100-meter hurdles at the World Championships. Her career then took off. She won Olympic gold in the 100 meters in 1992 and 1996, and added more world titles in the 100-meter and hurdles, proving that true champions rise no matter the odds. Some moments in sports leave you speechless. This was one of them. It was a sound that stopped everyone in their tracks. The sickening crack of Samir Aït Saïd's leg snapping during the 2016 Rio Olympics. It was supposed to be Samir Aït Saïd's moment to shine. But instead, it became a moment that would go down in Olympic history for all the wrong reasons. After a flawless somersault, Saïd's landing went horribly wrong, and in an instant, his leg snapped in half. The sickening crack echoed through the arena, and the scene was horrifying, the lower part of his leg dangling in the wrong direction. Volunteers rushed to carry him out on a stretcher, but they accidentally dropped it. Thankfully, this did not cause further damage. Yet, against all odds, Samir Aït Saïd was walking again just 4 days later. He made a full recovery and returned to competition not long after. He was one of the lucky ones. Many athletes never recover from injuries like that. And while Saïd's comeback defied the odds, another athlete faced a similar fate in a different event. This time, in the high jump. This also happened in 2016. Unlike Samir Aït Saïd, this athlete wouldn't be walking again after just 4 days. In April of that year, former Olympian Jamie Nieto was paralyzed. Though he had won medals at the 2004 and 2012 Olympics, by 2016, Nieto had stepped away from serious competition. He focused on coaching and performing demonstrations for young athletes. During one of these demos, he attempted his famous backflip, a move he was known for during his Olympic days. But this time, things went horribly wrong. Nieto failed to complete the rotation and landed on his head. The landing was so bad that his teammates and students could only scream in horror as they rushed to help him. Such an injury could have been fatal. Fortunately, Nieto survived, but it came at a great cost. He was paralyzed. After being airlifted to the hospital, he couldn't feel his body and struggled to breathe. Miraculously, he didn't suffer any breaks to his spine. At the time, Nieto didn't even have health insurance, but the support from fans and teammates, along with surgery to fuse a disc in his neck, helped him keep a promise. He vowed to walk his fiancée down the aisle, and against all odds, he did just that, about a year later. Fast forward to 2024, and we see another athlete who, despite facing shocking challenges, rises above it all: Simone Biles. Simone Biles' strength at the Paris Olympics captivated the world, but her Netflix documentary, Simone Biles Rising, reveals the extent of her struggles. During the women's gymnastics qualifications, Biles suffered a calf injury while performing her iconic triple-double. Initially fearing an Achilles tear, a career-threatening injury common among gymnasts, she powered through despite intense pain. At 27, Biles acknowledged feeling the toll of her old-for-a-gymnast body. Earlier injuries, including a previous calf muscle tear and a hyperextended knee, had already tested her limits. Yet, determined not to face criticism like in Tokyo 2020, she competed while managing her injury with therapy, stretching, and visualization techniques. Despite the setback, Biles triumphed, winning 3 gold medals: team all-around, individual vault, and individual all-around, and a silver floor. Reflecting on her journey, she expressed gratitude for taking it one day at a time, showcasing her grit and remarkable legacy in gymnastics. And then we have the Queen of Jamaica. Elaine Thompson-Herah has etched her name into the history books as one of the greatest sprinters ever. With 5 Olympic gold medals and a groundbreaking achievement of winning the sprint double in back-to-back Olympics, she stood among the best. But in 2024, everything changed. During the New York City Grand Prix, Elaine suffered a severe Achilles injury that shocked everyone. After working so hard to defend her 100-meter title, she was carried off the track, her dreams of competing in Paris crushed. She had even skipped the Jamaica 200-meter trials to focus on the 100 meters, only for this devastating injury to end her Olympic hopes. Elaine Thompson-Herah announced on Instagram that a torn Achilles tendon would keep her from competing in her 3rd Olympics. Despite the setback, she remains determined to recover fully and return stronger. At 32, she's already planning her comeback in 2025, proving her resilience and determination. Imagine being on top of the world, dominating the track, and then, just like that, it all starts to slip away. That's exactly where Abby Steiner finds herself right now. After a standout year in 2023, Abby Steiner's dreams of competing at the Paris 2024 Olympics were shattered by a series of injuries, including Haglund's deformity and a partial Achilles tendon tear. But rather than succumbing to these setbacks, her journey has become one of solidity and unwavering determination. It all started when she had surgery for Haglund's deformity, cutting her season short. But Steiner, driven by the hope of returning to her best, came back to training by the end of 2023. However, her struggles continued as recurring symptoms on her other foot plagued her. As the Olympic trials neared, Steiner pushed through the pain, leaning on pure grit to keep her Olympic dream alive. She made it to the 200-meter final at the US Olympic trials, but a 22.24-second finish left her off the podium. After the trials, her condition worsened, forcing her into a second surgery to address the new complications. Reflecting on her struggles, she shared on Instagram that while the road has been tough, she knows greatness lies ahead. "I'm gonna fight like hell to be back," she said, focusing on recovery with the support of her team. Though her Olympic debut may wait until 2028, her resilience proves that elite athletes never stop chasing their dreams. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into some of the most incredible stories of perseverance and comeback in track and field. From Betty Robinson's miraculous recovery after a plane crash to Jamie Nieto defying the odds after a life-changing injury, these athletes prove that nothing is impossible when you have the heart and will to overcome adversity. Gail Devers, Simone Biles, Elaine Thompson-Herah, and Abby Steiner each faced challenges that could have easily ended their careers. Yet they all rose above it, showing us the true spirit of a champion. Their journeys remind us that setbacks don't define us. They push us to become stronger, more determined, and more resilient. We'd love to hear your thoughts on these stories. Which comeback inspired you the most? Don't forget to share this video with others and subscribe for more incredible sports moments. Thanks for watching.